Hi, my name is Fatima and I am a nutritionist in Toronto, Ontario. This is the fourth podcast of series Facts of the World of Nutrition, which is a ketogenic diet is not just a fancy word, nor is it for everyone. So stay with me and don't forget to click the subscribe button. Ketogenic diet is one of the diets that many people have been eager for in recent years, and we have seen and heard a lot about it. And it also is a diet that has been the subject of many studies that have shown its positive effects on health. In this podcast, I would like to explain to you, firstly, what ketogenic diet is and how it is different from a normal diet. Secondly, can this diet be recommended for everyone? Can we continue this diet for the rest of our lives? What does it mean for it to have a positive effect? First of all, you have to know what a normal diet is, and on the other hand, what a ketogenic diet is. Let me give you a definition for the normal diet. These diets are calculated based on three main classes: carbohydrates, protein, and fat. That carbohydrates are found in a wide range of foods like breads, cereals, rice, pasta, potato, and so many other things. About protein, both animals and plants can be sources of protein like meat, poultry, nuts, eggs, legumes, and mushrooms. And finally, fats can obtain from cooking oil that we consume in our daily diet. For example, canola oil and olive oil. Before I continue, I need to tell you that the calculation of the amount and the choice of the type of the food that is better for you is very sensitive and need an expertise that a nutritionist can do. What I want to explain here is how we plan a diet. The percentage of carbohydrates in normal diet is much higher than the other two. The fact that carbohydrates are the highest percentage of a body intake on a daily basis means that carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body, and therefore the main substance that is used as energy in that body will be glucose. But in the ketogenic diet, the situation is different. Calculations in ketogenic diets are also based on the same three main classes of food, which, as I mentioned before, were carbohydrates, protein, and fat. But here, the highest percentage of energy will be obtained from fats as opposed to carbohydrates in case of normal diets. This diet is high in fat and low in carbohydrates and moderate in protein. When the body begins to burn fat as energy, it means that fats are a main source of energy for the body, and a substance called ketones is produced by it. This ketone, instead of glucose, is going to provide energy for the cells in your body, including brain cells. Glucose levels fall and ketones rise, creating a condition called ketosis in the body. You should also know that there are 4 different types of ketogenic diets that I will explain here briefly. 1. A standard ketogenic diet, which contains very few carbohydrates, moderate protein, and the highest percentage of fat. This type of diet can basically be considered a starting diet, a diet that people start ketogenic diet with. 2. Cyclical ketogenic diet. 5 days of ketogenic diet, 2 days of high carbohydrate diet. This is suitable for athletes, but sometimes some people who are not yet ready for the ketogenic diet can also start with this method. 3. Targeted ketogenic diet. In this type of diet, carbohydrates can be used around workouts for athletes or people who are very active during the day and need carbohydrates in their schedule. 4. High protein ketogenic diet, which, like the standard diet, only increases the amount of protein. The protein of choice in this type and its amount is very important because high protein prevents us from reaching ketosis. On the other hand, I must say that what kind of ketogenic diet to start depends on you and your nutritionist, because you pick your goal and the reason why you are starting a diet, and your nutritionist can decide the best type of diet based on the conditions of your body system and your goal. Starting these diets is highly dependent on your situation. Well, I hope by now you are familiar with what a ketogenic diet is and how it differs from a normal diet. In the next podcast, I will explain why this diet is recommended, why it's useful, and why it is good and for whom. To get better acquainted with this type of diet and to realize what is right and what is wrong about many of the discussions around this type of diet.